Following the presence of the CPI information report, Bitcoin encountered a monster decline in respect, accomplishing central difficulties for people who had taken out Titanic credits to put resources into it. Today, we'll look at the Bitcoin cost question. We'll check whether this is an unpleasant sign and where we can make another exchange. Regardless, the CPI information report was lower than anticipated. In any case, when the data was revealed, Bitcoin was being traded for around 36,600 and didn't appear, clearly, to be impacted by the CPI information. Of course, in the event that we begin setting now in S&P 500 or US 100, we could see monstrous developments. Right, unfortunately, Bitcoin didn't go up. We just saw a simple extent of progress around here, trailed by an essential destruction of around 6%. Truly, we assessed it, and we see a monstrous positive change in the CV. All through the new days, we have been seeing that our CVD pointer is showing new more sad put spots down, while Bitcoin has been making truly supporting put spots down. The CVD, combined volume distinction, is showing solid areas for fundamental for a huge expansion. As we suggested yesterday, it's endeavoring to totally believe this augmentation considering the way that ahead of time, we saw an essentially hazy expansion and sometime later Bitcoin's worth went down an impossible plan, the cost of Bitcoin went up an effectively thought out plan. Thus, when we see an enormous drop in the cost of Bitcoin, it normally proposes the contrary will occur. Bitcoin dropped a surprising methodology, and it sends an impression of being a remarkable opportunity to purchase more. An enormous piece of the market. At last, expecting you take a gander at the liquidations, you will see that we have disposed of 100 million of long conditions in only 60 minutes. Subsequently, an essential number people don't have the stores of being all purchasing for quite a while this second, plus, hence, it will make the cost of Bitcoin go up. At this point, in the event that we take a gander at the Coinbase outline and the volume pointer, we can see that on this dismissal light, there was a huge improvement in exchanging volume. Notwithstanding, you'll see that Bitcoin appeared at a new low with truly less exchanging volume. So on an extremely essential level impels that we will diminish here. We are cleansing individuals' pensions in Bitcoin, yet how much Bitcoin being exchanged is as of now reducing. It doesn't emanate an impression of seeming to be the market will have a gigantic drop in respect. Again, I will show you where the worth of Bitcoin could begin to go up, assuming we check the fundamental system out. We hinted a particular level 2 or 3 days sooner that could be a dire vital event for the worth of Bitcoin. We can fundamentally confer past what many would think about conceivable with a straight line. It seems like the cost of Bitcoin went up around the help with covering on the arrangement. Besides, when we utilize the Fibonacci numbers from undeniably the base to the most raised point, it likewise matches the brilliant Fibonacci degree. What was the specific dollar full scale that was reached, evaluating the outrageous costs with how much exchanging? The most raised indication of control or the most striking cost level in the upper cost range was reached definitively. Following appearance up at our help level, we are at present seeing one more augmentation of around 5%. Besides, concentrate on yesterday we investigated that we could see a 5-wave cost plan dropping down. We said we felt the manager's solid tendency at this moment. Update, another astonishing propensity could rehash. Another flounder fixed. Likewise, obviously, we can in addition expect another and last drop down. In any case, until extra early notification, we should dissect the particular 5 striking costs going down. The persistent second, we are seeing a push upwards for the 4th wave, and that proposes the 5-wave cost structure is no longer valid. After the previous CPI information report, Bitcoin got an essential pushdown, decimating everybody with a high effect long position. In the present Bitcoin cost supposition video, we will look at on the off chance that this is at this point a horrendous sign and where we can be hoping to go with a perfect short or perhaps a long exchange, yet what we will, explicitly, see, the CPI information report came in preferably lower over anticipated. In any case, around then, when the information was passed on, Bitcoin was exchanging at around 36,600 and was not definitively replying on the CPI information. Obviously, on the off chance that we go at this moment, for instance, with the S&P 500 or perhaps with us 100, the two of them got an essential push towards the reasonable expansion. Tragically, Bitcoin didn't follow. All we got was extremely slight spreading out by and large at this particular district, trailed by a vital move towards weight of around 6%. Finally, yesterday we surveyed it, we are addressing an enormous bullish CV uniqueness. Relentlessly for the new days, we have been seeing extraordinary all the more horrendous stop spots being shaped on our CVD pointer, while Bitcoin has been basically framing staggeringly dazzling truly motivating beat spots down, crazy and an enormous bullish CVD contrast. Yet what's more as proposed yesterday, sadly, when we see such a fundamental bullish capacity, we can't actually recognize it extraordinarily considering the way that from our experience, for instance, from 14th of September, when I posted that Bitcoin is seeing a crazy negative uniqueness here, that we got an essential partner on the Bitcoin regard itself. So it truly is clearly that when we are seeing a particularly monster assist occurring in the Bitcoin with regarding itself, it is routinely going to happen, totally astounding. So Bitcoin got a crazy push towards the weight, and on this particular push down, since everybody, it seems like we're entering what's going on at this particular area, once more plainly, more prominent piece of the market, taking a gander at the liquidations, you will see we have gotten on just the 1 hourly fire conclusively 100 million of long belongings getting totally racked and sold. Along these lines, more noteworthy piece of individuals as of the non-stop second, it truly is clearly, are not holding a long hourly purchase as of right now any longer, plus, obviously, consequently, that is undeniably going to be a bullish sign for the Bitcoin regard itself. Finally, expecting that we go, for instance, with the Coinbase outline and with the volume marker, what we will see on this particular dismissal light, we emphatically got a significant volume spike, yet common decency as of now going to see is that Bitcoin shaped an immaculate lower low here on a perhaps lower volume. So on an incredibly fundamental level comprehends that we will bring down here. We are decimating individuals, or genuinely we are selling individuals with their long positions, yet the volume of Bitcoin is as of now going unendingly lower, and looking right now at how much volume truly came in the market since it was lower versus what we got at this particular high, this is similarly not exactly going to be an especially dubious Bitcoin sign, so allowed me to write at this point oblige you where we truly skip, since, in such a case that we zoom out somewhat, expect on the 4-hour period of time, we really checked on a few days sooner about an overall splendid corner-to-corner level. So we can fundamentally facilitate our really lifting deflected spots with a corner-to-corner support locale. It truly produces an impression of seeming as though the Bitcoin got a skip by and large at our corner-to-corner support locale here. Besides, persevering through we go with our Fibonacci from swing low back to our swing high, it was moreover the unimaginable Fibonacci degree. Similarly, besides, what level was hit by a certified viewpoint to the specific dollar accuracy, evaluating the whole upper cost segment with the volume you will observe. Spot of control or the best volume pack of the whole upper cost progression hit unequivocally to the dollar accuracy. After we hit our help region we are correct right currently seeing one more push towards the conceivable expansion of around 5%. Furthermore, overview yesterday we inspected that we can be focusing in on some sort of a 5-wave cost structure towards inconvenience. We said first motivation here. Change. Another motivation can be anticipated. Another change. Moreover, obviously, comparably then we can be anticipating another and last move towards hurt. Anyway, the persistent second, we should look at this particular 5-way cost structure towards obstruction. Soon, sadly, taking into account how we are right as of now seeing this particular push towards the conceivable expansion for our fourth elliptic wave, the whole 5-wave cost structure is correct in the long run disparaged. Coincidentally, when the information was uncovered, Bitcoin was being exchanged for around 36,600 and didn't show up, clearly, to be impacted by the CPI data. Obviously, expecting that we start setting now in S&P 500 or US 100, we could see gigantic augmentations. Right, unfortunately, Bitcoin didn't go up. We just saw a restricted degree of progress around here, followed by a major diminishing of around 6%. Really we destroyed it, and we see a major positive change in the CV. All through the new days, we have been seeing that our CVD marker is showing new more hopeless put spots down, while Bitcoin has been making really supporting beat spots down. The CVD, firm volume difference, is showing serious strong regions for a significant development. As we recommended yesterday, it's attempting to thoroughly recognize this headway considering the way that, tragically, we can't examine the 5 slipping waves at this moment. Regardless, what we can break down is what's happening. I recall that we can all concur that the cost development in this space appeared as though it was advancing. As such, what's truly thinking about how we are right presently seeing an expansion over the last low, we can look at an ABC update instead of a 5-wave slipping development. We can say that we completed our work here. We completed our B wave and it appears as though Bitcoin is moreover completed for the present. It is the letter C Lnet wave, a sort of sewing machine. Likewise, the wick overlooked a couple of principles and we took huge boatload of money. We know this considering the way that various individuals lost all their cash. Basically, expecting you take a gander at the cash stream and RSI markers on a significantly more long time frame range, similar to the hourly diagram, you'll see that they are both showing that the stock is oversold at this moment. It seems like clearly the base for Bitcoin might have been sought after at this point. We wrapped up changing our ABC here. Moreover, in this manner, we could see the cost of Bitcoin go up in the going with 2 or 3 hours. This second, certain individuals will say that we're seeing a couple of signs that the cost could go down in the following hour. This is pondering the way that the 50-hour moving norm and the 200-hour moving conventional have crossed one another. Regardless, our 500 is lower than our 250 moving midpoints, so we are seeing a barely more fragile model on the 1-hour time period. In any event, finished, the model is right now going up. Following 2 hours, truly climbing. The time frame is at standard stretches. Moving upwards. I think Bitcoin looks essential, right? Ultimately pondering how its moving midpoints are going up and it has an alternate social occasion trading it. Along these lines, we will doubtlessly see more immense standards in the going with 2 or 3 days. In the event that you haven't purchased at the present time, we ought to consider purchasing at the normal degree of 35,400. This is the standard level here. Has really been utilized or gotten to. We really need to make a couple of basic considerations in the going with 9 hours and 30 minutes. We will communicate another area of help at 35,500, which will be the most raised for that day. This level may not be declared for the present. It will be guaranteed, in fact. The line on the standard development is arranging with the most fundamental and bottommost cutoff points we've seen a lot early. This makes it a solid help district for Bitcoin. Once more, on the off chance that the model goes somewhat plunging, we could see it. What does that mean? Once more, in the event that the cost goes down and tests our help locale, we with canning examine purchasing with a stop disaster under the past low or the standard help district. Everything genuinely relies on how much bet you are perfect with taking. At this point place, since we additionally need to zero in on the obstruction region. As a general rule, we separated this safeguarded locale. Expecting that we interface the lower focuses now, we can see a slanting line. Expecting we follow the Fibonacci numbers, we will see that the astonishing degree is being endeavored as the cost goes down from its high to its low. Once more, that is the clarification I'm conveying, that in the event that the cost goes down and doesn't go under the impossible Fibonacci degree, this is the region we ought to zero in on for help. It just so happens, on the off chance that we grow our benefit starting here instead of a higher point, it will match our past highs and our arranged level. At this point, the volume levels will be truly higher than the imperative Fibonacci degree and our chart level. At any rate, have sureness in the event that the cost goes up. The truly central level to watch is the superb Fibonacci level of 36,800. Tolerating we climb reasonably, endeavor to organize the attribute of control and the worth region high on your outline. In any event, truly think we look perfect and positive at the present time. We know unequivocally where our stop disaster level will be on the off chance that our help area doesn't hold. I would notwithstanding agree that we are going lower with less exchanging progress since individuals are losing cash at the present time. According to my viewpoint, we genuinely look awesome and certain. However, we truly need to know where our stop level is in the event that the market betrays us. We have not appeared at our old degree of help, yet rather we are endeavoring to get there. So sadly we can't simply in that frame of mind while look at something different about this 5-wave drop down. Notwithstanding, what we can look at is truly going to be a genuinely more bullish situation. At last, I figure we can all concur that this particular cost development at this particular region did look especially recuperating, correct? So in this manner, what's more, since we are right at present seeing a drive up off the past low here, we can look at an ABC revision rather than the 5-wave drop down. So we can right at this point say we finished our region here. We got our B wave, and moreover it is clearly Bitcoin right at present wrapped up. Its C, Lnet wave. Essentially, furthermore, the wick here plainly disregarded a piece of the past rules, and that recommends we got some liquidity besides. Obviously, how we handle we snatched a ton of liquidity here, taking into account the way that as inferred right now early, various individuals got totally obliterated and exchanged. Besides, expecting that you go at the present time, for instance, with the cash stream marker with the RSI pointer on a higher term time period, on destitution-stricken people hourly, you will see oversold here. Moreover, oversold on the RSI marker. In this manner, earnestly is clearly that as of the non-stop second, the base or maybe some sort of a nearby base for Bitcoin can genuinely be in. We finished our ABC change here. Additionally, obviously, thus, perhaps in the following couple of hours, we can be expecting higher stunning lights on the Bitcoin regard itself. At this point, certain individuals are right as of now going to say, we are seeing a couple of wary signs in our extraordinary moving midpoints on the 1-hourly time period, since we are seeing a cross of our 50 and 200 unprecedented moving standard. Regardless, taking into account how our 500 is under our 200 and under our 50 wonderful moving conventional, all we are seeing is perhaps destroying model on the 1-hourly period of time. Regardless model, we, all things considered, are still in a trip. 2-hourly, still in a climb. 4-hourly time span, still in a trip. So taking into account right now the shocking moving midpoints on different time frames, taking at this point and taking a gander at the liquidations here, moreover the volume, I would really say that Bitcoin looks extraordinarily bullish. Basically, in this way, most obviously we can be anticipating higher fixations in the following couple of days. Moreover, on the off chance that you haven't really entered a barely out of the plastic new wide or a purchasing position where we can be searching for an impeccable long, obviously, here we had the standard level at 35,400. In the end this standard level here has really been tapped. So we should be genuinely more imaginative soon, especially in 9 hours and 30 minutes, we will guarantee a barely out of the plastic new common high term timeframe area of help at 35,500. This standard level here isn't demanded as an at the present time. It will be, obviously, authenticated on the typical close, and this common line here is changing most certainly impeccably with our past highs here besides with our past lows, and that starts this here is an exceptionally breathtaking help district for Bitcoin, assuming we are genuinely going to see one more slight change back towards inconvenience. So what's the significance here? On the off chance that there will be one more push down, expecting there is truly